So I've got myself a nice tote here, full of books from my most recent library sale. I had so much fun because I actually got to be part of the library sale a bit. I got to on the second day, I actually got to volunteer, which was really, 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 really fun. And so I had no idea, but they actually give you a coupon when you volunteer, and so I got a $2 coupon once I volunteered, so I actually got a couple books the next day. I went on the first day to get the first batch of books, but I was actually really well behaved. I was very intentional about what I was looking for, and I did find some things that I just thought looked interesting. Because sometimes you find books that you may not normally find. Um, there's a little kitty meowing that I'm watching right now. But anyway, so I found some unique finds, but most of them were books that I really wanted to read or I had like on a wish list and I couldn't believe I found them. There was one that I even gasped when I found it. I was like, no way, this is so cool. But I'll first show you just the couple of books I got for because they're mostly for my niece. There's only one that I got for me. Because the children's books were only 50 cents. So I got my niece this bilingual book about a squirrel. The squirrel was just so cute. My niece is not bilingual, but if she wants to learn Chinese, Mandarin specifically, and the art was just so cute, I couldn't stand it. I was like, it's fine. And then I got Kate DiCamillo's Great Joy. The art in this is really why I got it. I mean, it's a Christmas book, but like the art is like, oh, that's not a very good page. Hold on. The art is like so pretty. There was one page that I was like, oh, where is it? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Either way, the art's beautiful, and that's kind of why I got this. So that was that. And then I got this for myself, which is Tessa Afshar, In the Field of Grace. It's Ruth's story, I think. And I already have a Tessa Afshar in the Land of Silence. I have not read that yet. That one's about the woman with the issue of blood, but I've heard a lot of good things. I am gonna get to it. That's my goal for this year because I'm reading my personal TBR, my physical TBR, but I've now added to it. So, but anyway, I'm really looking forward to this. It should be a delight. And then we'll go into. So I spent $7.50, which is really good, but also my and I got 11 books. But the woman that I actually rang up with, she gave me a little bit of a deal because she thought that the young adult books were 50 cents along with the children's books, but they really weren't. But she had already rung me up and she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it." So I kind of got a deal. So very thankful to that lady. She was super nice to me because I would have paid the extra. It wouldn't have been that much extra, but she didn't. She was just like, "No, no, no." So anyway, very sweet. So I got this is a gem, More Than a Carpenter by Josh McDowell. I always go to the religion section first because I always want to see if I can find C.S. Lewis's there. None this time, very sad, but that's okay. I'm very excited to have this. It's just a little book, but I have one of his apologetics book, which is Evidence in Need of a Verdict or something like that. So I'm definitely going to be reading that at some point, probably sporadically more. It doesn't seem like it's not necessarily a chapter book. It's more like if you want to look something up, like kind of thing, which I definitely will. But this I'm definitely going to read through. Very excited. And then this just looked interesting to me. I don't think I own any John Pipers, but The Passion of Jesus Christ. I just, I really want to spend a lot of my time reading and learning about the Lord and growing closer to Him. So getting these kind of books is really important for me just to get like another perspective or a deeper perspective or whatever, because of course reading the Bible, which is right here right now, I have my Bible right there, is the best thing I can do and the one thing I should be doing. But sometimes you just need somebody else to kind of give you, there's a lot of people, a lot of Christians with a lot of amazing gifts. Like I just finished reading The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. What an incredible book. So thought provoking. I love how he really does mesh like um, Christian themes and Christian ideas and different things with like a little bit of like fantasy, and it just but it doesn't feel fantastical when he writes it. It feels like, oh, this is like a little glimpse of what things could be like, you know. And The Great Divorce was really beautiful, and it really made me think about, like, what are things that I value? Do I value anything more than God and heaven? If so, it's a waste of time. Don't do it. So that was, anyway, really powerful. And so that's why I really like getting books like these, so I can grow in my faith, understand things better, and even when I'm reading the word, to really dig in a deeper way. God made Christians very good writers. Okay, we're very creative people, and I'm very blessed for that. And then this was the find of the finds, dude. I've heard so much about Gentle and Lowly, The Heart of Christ for Sinners and Sufferers by Dane Ortland. I have heard so much about this. I actually had this on my wish list. I could not believe that I found it for $1. Like, I'm like, no way, because this is fairly recent. I don't remember when it came out, but I feel like it's fairly recent. Or maybe I just heard about it recently. That could be. Um okay, I have no idea. Oh, 2020. Okay. So yeah, recent. But anyway, I'm so excited to read this. I'm just excited. I've heard a lot of good things. So that was a huge find for me. That was the one where I went, oh my gosh. Like, I snatched it. Thankfully there was nobody. I mean, there was a woman in front of me in around the books, but like she wasn't looking in that section. So thankfully I wasn't like snatching from her. I wouldn't have snatched anything out of anybody's hands, to be clear. But I'm glad that I got to it first. Okay, and now these are just regular fictions that seem fun to me. This was a gem. Anna Green Gables. I actually have been wanting Anna Green Gables. I Funny story. I was in the musical for Anna Green Gables when I was in my sophomore year of high school, and it was so much fun. And recently, a lot of people have been like picking this up, and like people that I watch on BookTube and things have been picking this up and talking about it. And I realized I never actually read Anna Green Gables, or if I had, it was like way back when. I think I was more Little House on the Prairie girl though, because I definitely read Laura Ingalls Wilder. I don't know that I ever did read Anna Green Gables. So this is now my opportunity to read Anna Green Gables. I'm very excited about it. This is so cute, and I'm really excited. I really love Anne of Green Gables, the musical I was in. I love it. I still go back there in my memories. I'm like, good times. But yeah, I'm excited to actually read it. So that was an awesome find. It's one that I wanted but didn't think about it until I saw it, and then I was like, yes, I must. And then this was another one. City of Ember. This has also been on my list to pick up by Jean Duprow. Duprow. Um, I listened to the audiobook of this like maybe in like 2018, somewhere around there. And I really, really liked it. And then I guess it's a series. I've heard the rest of the series isn't very good. I don't know, because I never went on to read any more of it. But this I remember enjoying a lot. So I was like super stoked to find it. And yeah, so I guess I'll read it a little bit. So the city of Ember was built as a last refuge for the human race. 200 years later, supplies are running low and terrifying blackouts are sweeping through the streets. It's only a matter of time before the lights go out and never come back on. When Lena finds part of a secret message, she's sure it holds a clue that will save Ember. She enlists her friend, Dune, and together they explore long forgotten parts of their dying city as they race to solve the mystery. If they succeed, they will have to convince everyone to follow them into danger, but if they fail, the lights will burn out and the darkness will close in forever. It's just, I remember really enjoying it, so we're gonna get back into it. I'm excited. I'm very big on middle grade. I enjoy middle grade, obviously. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to buy this. And then, like, I brought it with me to the checkout and I was like, oh, I guess we're buying it. So, this is Isle of the Lost by Melissa De La Cruz. It's a Descendants novel. As you may know from my channel here, I love Disney's Descendants. I love the movies. I think the movies are fun. I think they have a really good message behind them, and that good overcomes evil in the end. And you don't have to be, just because maybe you've had evil in your life or in your family, you don't actually have to follow in their footsteps. And I really love that. And so there was novelizations made. I actually have Returned to the Isle of the Lost, which I think is the second or maybe the third book. I think it's the second one, because I think it's supposed to be based around the second movie. This is obviously from the first. And it says, uh, 20 years ago, all the evil villains were banished from the kingdom of Auradon to the Isle of the Lost, a dark and dreary place protected by a force field that makes it impossible for them to leave. Stripped of their magical powers, the villains now live in total isolation, forgotten by the world. But hidden in the Forbidden Forest is a dragon's eye, the key to true darkness and the villain's only hope of escape. Only the cleverest, evilest, nastiest villain can find it. Who will it be? In the quest for the dragon's eye, these kids are proof that just because you come from an evil family tree, being good ain't so bad. So again, the idea of good overcoming evil. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy this because I haven't actually read the first one at all, but I still think that I generally, because I really love the Descendants, I'm gonna enjoy it. So I'm gonna read it and the second one, and if I like them, I'll keep them. If I don't, I'll give them away. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's kind of how I live my life. If I like it, I keep it. And look at this big boy. Look, it's got the weird pages. I don't particularly like that, but I actually was in the bookstore. This book is huge. How many pages is this? Oh, it's like over 500 pages. Oh, why is this a children's book? Anyway, it's a middle grade. I was actually in a Barnes & Noble the other day, and I saw this book, and I read the back of it, and I was like, huh, that's interesting, but I'm not paying full price for it. Best believe. I got it for 50 cents. Okay. And so I think this is a fairly new book, to be honest, but I'll read the back of it and why I thought it was interesting. Prue McKeel's life is ordinary. That is until her brother is abducted by a murder of crows and taken to the impassable wilderness, a dense, tangled forest on the edge of Portland. No one's ever gone in, or at least returned to tell of it. So begins an adventure that will take Prue and her friend Curtis deep into the impassable wilderness. There they will uncover a secret world in the midst of violent upheaval, a world full of warring creatures, peaceable mystics, and powerful figures with the darkest intentions. And what begins as a rescue mission becomes something much greater as the two friends find themselves entwined in a struggle for the very freedom of this wilderness, a wilderness the locals call Wildwood. Wildwood. So, yeah, and it's got like coffee stains on the front of it. Like this book kind of got messed up a little bit, but that's okay. But it kind of looks like it just matches. Maybe I can clean it. We'll see. Anyway, it just sounded interesting. Will it be? I genuinely don't know, but for like 50 cents, I'm willing to give it a shot. Because if I don't like it, again, it will go into a little free library. Anything that I don't like nowadays, I put into a little free library. Sometimes I give it to the library for like the library sale, but mostly I put it in little free libraries so other people can enjoy them for free. I got it for 50 cents. You can enjoy it for free. So that's another one. And then we've got Variant by Robison Wells. It says, trust no one at the top. This just sounded interesting. I've never heard of Variant before, but it sounded interesting. Benson Fisher thought that scholarship to the Maxfield Academy would be the ticket out of his dead-end life. He was wrong. Now he's trapped in a school that's surrounded by razor wire fence, a school where video cameras monitor his every move, where there are no adults, where the kids have split into groups in order to survive, where breaking the rules equals death. But when Benson stumbles upon the school's real secret, he realizes that playing by the rules could spell a fate worse than death, and that escape, his only real hope for survival, may be impossible. It just sounded kind of fun. I don't know. Again, middle grade is kind of my thing, so. Oh, and this book, If I Stay. Oh, it's got a sticker on it. I gotta get the sticker off. Soon to be a major motion picture. I think it already is. If I Stay by Gail Forman. I've heard a lot about this one. I know this one, like I know it's a movie. But it's basically like girl dies, but she's like in like a middle, caught between life and death. And she has to kind of decide whether she goes back and like continues her life, or she moves on knowing that her life was already like phenomenal and whatever. So it just sounds like an interesting, I don't know, it sounded interesting. I thought I would read it. And again, she let, for 50 cents. I can't really complain. So I thought I would check it out. I don't know if I'm going to like it or keep it, but it sounded interesting. And I like those kind of more thought-provoking books and things like that. So we'll see if I stay. And maybe I'll watch the movie. Who knows? You don't know me. Oh, and then this I've already read, but I have the second book. I don't have the first. Actually, they had a bunch of Michael Vay's there, but I was like, I haven't even gotten to the second one yet, so I'm not going to do it. But I read the first one. I read it at the library, and I loved it. Okay, and that's why I got the first one again, because I'm like, listen, I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy the second one too, because I'm actually excited to see how the characters move on and what they do. But this one was so enjoyable. Like, I just had such a good time. Especially the big thing for me is the moral quandaries that the characters found themselves in, and they still chose to do good despite the, you know, potentially like the heavy moral weight on their shoulders. Like, it was kind of like the trolley conundrum, it's like, are you gonna turn the trolley down here even though there's one person on the train tracks, or are you gonna turn it down here where there's a whole family on the train tracks, kind of conundrums that they were facing. But they kind of chose to be like, you know what, we're not going to send the trolley either way. You know what I mean? Oh, we're in a snowstorm right now, so there's a lot of noise. It's because there's snow plows going by. So anyway, it was those kind of conundrums, but he still chose a way that kind of led away from that. Like, they would give an option: you can kill this person or you can kill this person, and he'd be like, how about none? How about I just come and get you? Yeah. Anyway, so Michael Bay, I really enjoyed. So I wanted to own the first one. I do own the second one, and maybe in the future, if I like them, I might get others. I think it's a rather large series, though, so I don't really see myself buying all of them because I don't have enough room for that. They are at my library, so I'd probably just rather pick them up. But I like the first one enough that I think keeping it was worth it, or buying it was worth it. And then my last one, yay! This was exciting. I don't know anything about this. The Last Voyage of Poe Blythe by Ali Condi. Now, I picked this up because it looks kind of cool, but mostly because Ali Condi. I am currently reading her Matched trilogy. I finished Matched. I loved it. I really did. And now I have Crossed, which is the next book in the series. I mean, it's very YA, don't get me wrong, but I actually really enjoy it. I don't know why. Like, it's the way that she writes her characters. Like, I care very much about what happens to Cassia and Kai, especially Kai. I care very much what happens to Kai and Xander. And like, I'm like, okay, and her family. Like, I want them to be free from this like government that is trying to like control everything that everybody does. Like, I'm very keen on finding it feels like I haven't felt this much into a dystopian since the Hunger Games, or maybe like Divergent. uh the Hunger Games more than Divergent, but like I haven't felt this keen on it, and I'm like, no, like I have to know what happens. So anyway, I know that I love Ali Condi, and I really like her work, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to pick this up because I think it's a standalone. I actually don't know, but I think it is. And it sounded pretty cool. So it says, who do you become when you have nothing left to lose? There is something Poe Blythe, the 17-year-old captain of Outpost's last mining ship, wants far more than the gold they tear from the Serpentine River. Revenge. Poe has vowed to annihilate the river raiders who robbed her. Oh, I thought it was a boy's name. Okay, robbed her of everything 2 years ago, but as she navigates the treacherous waters of the Serpentine and realizes there might be a traitor among her crew, she must also reckon with who she has become, who she wants to be, and the ways love can change and shape you, even and especially when you think all is lost. Oh, it just sounds good, dude. It just sounds good. So I'm going to check this out. I have a feeling because her character work is amazing that I'm really going to enjoy it. But we'll see. And either way, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So those are, oof. So those are all my books that I got at the most recent library sale. I do have a problem. And the problem is books. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually pretty cut down for me. I'm pretty impressed with myself because the first time I think I went to a library sale, I like went off the deep end. But some of these books are for, either I'm going to let other people have them, borrow them, or like I said, I'm going to read them, see if I want to keep them. And if I don't, I'm going to give them away because that's kind of how I roll these days. Oh, please don't fall on me. But, I also am definitely trying to be of the mind to make use of my library. I love my library, and that's why I like going to the library sales. I want to support them. And plus 50 cents or a dollar for a book. It's all good. But, I really do. And I can, sometimes I'm like, ooh, I really want this book because, X, Y, and Z. But then I'm like, but you can just read it at the library. You can just get it out of the library and it will always be there. So like anytime you want, you can just go get it from the library. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. I don't need to own it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Of course, I still bought books, but I am trying to be of that mind. I'm trying to just pick up books that are either books that I absolutely have on my wish list, like those nonfictions, especially Gentle and Lowly. I was really excited about classics like Anne of Green Gables, or books of authors that I really like, books that I already know that I really like, or books that I'd never seen before but seem like they would be fun to try. That's kind of like what I try to do. And even with when it comes to books that I've never seen before but are seem fun to try, I still try to be careful about that because I'm like, especially for YA and adult fiction, I'm extremely like, because there was some YA and adult fiction that looked really interesting to me, but knowing what I know about adult fiction and how most of it is very sexualized these days or has a lot of cursing, same with YA, I'm like, I don't like to go there. So that's why I usually stick with middle grade too. I don't know this. Ali Condi Matched is really good because there's really not, it's romantic. There's romance in it, but it's not like they kiss. That's it. That's literally it. Kisses and hugs. That's it. And I hope it doesn't get worse as it goes on. But so I trust Ali Condi from what I've seen from her work so far, but I can't trust most other writers in this day and age. So that's why even if something looks interesting, if it's not a middle grade, I usually don't pick it up because unless I know for sure that it's safe to read, I'm not going to risk it, and I'm not going to waste my money on it, and I don't want to read it. It makes me feel terrible. It's something that convicts me really strongly, and I just don't want to go there. So anyways, that's fine. That's my own conviction. So but that's it for today. Do you have any books that you're currently reading? Do you love going to your library sale and getting books for $1.50? Does your library have library sales? You should check it out if you don't know, because it is worthwhile. Especially, you can find some really solid books there. I mean, they had like Tolstoy, War and Peace, and stuff like that. Crime and Punishment, they had that. I love classics, but those ones are a little bit intimidating to me. But you can find some really amazing and beautiful books there, and you should. And the nice thing is they're used books, so you're giving them a new home and also you're supporting your library. So it's a win-win on all counts, in my personal opinion. So anyway, that being said, I hope you guys are having a great day. If you are in the snow section of like the United States, I hope that you're staying safe and staying inside. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So, as you know, I love you, but Jesus loves you way more. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe out there and stay warm out there. Okay. Snuggle up with a nice book and enjoy yourself. So, have a great day, guys. Bye.